passe super, l'artiste, super, encore un but sensationnel. That's a brilliant bit of follow-up play by Mahe. Oh my goodness me, what a shot.
Sagosen setter det hen! Han setter den! Vi er i semifinale igjen!
Hello and welcome to another Morning Club, a special, slightly longer edition, which, if you're not a Patreon fan, you may be hearing for the first time as you get a few minutes free, 15 minutes as we discuss everything that's going on in handball. And to hear the rest of it, you do have to become a loyal Patreon fan where we have a fantastic community. Alex Kulesh here, joined by Chris O'Reilly to talk about a bunch of things that are happening as leagues are finishing across Europe with the big dogs in every country facing off. With transfers, as always, they keep running. Chris O'Reilly has been watching all of it as he's still injured.
Oh, yes. My progressive Achilles rehab isn't getting in the way of me watching lots and lots of handball. A really fun time. It's almost a pleasure to be able to not have to do anything and just watch a lot of action because all the major leagues are coming to a head. All those two-horse races are finally, going into the final hurdle. And we'll cover a little bit of Hungary, Poland, Denmark, Germany, of course, which comes to an end this weekend. And there's some fun transfer news as well, maybe to dive into. But Alex, I want to start with you on the Hungarian League final because honestly, I don't know if there is a more thrilling top two in like non-Germany handball at the moment. The series had its second game just a couple of days ago. I watched extended highlights this morning while doing my rehab, and Veszprém and Szeged, I mean, just what a beautiful pairing.
It is lovely, isn't it? Because there's as opposed to, you said, is there a more exciting one? Like, Poland has a fiery one. Like, it's more intense. But there's a level of respect that's in this Veszprém-Szeged combination where both teams are, stacked with talent, lots of investment on both sides, both aiming to win the title as their only objective of this season. But at the same time, there is a fair play element or respect on it, and they're just so equally matched. That does boil over. It's not always smooth, but it never...
And it did in that second final.
Exactly. But it kind of stays on that edge, on that fiery edge, as opposed to, real controversy and drama, which we see elsewhere when top teams face off.
I fully agree. And this one was set up really nicely heading into the second final. This is a best set of three. I think for each of the leagues, we're going to have to say how teams win it because it's very different in some leagues. But this one, a best of three final. Veszprém won the first final at home by 2 goals. And so Szeged needing to win this one at home to keep the series alive, and like that, the mixture of the brilliance and that boiling over really showed in the first half, particularly in the battle between Nedim Remili and everyone. It felt like at one point he was on a mission to get people sent off, but he managed with Gleb Kalarash, who in a really feisty scene, and it's worth people watching back if they haven't seen the highlights, with Remili being taken out in midair by Gleb Kalarash, and he grabs his shirt and rips it down the front as he's heading down. So Kalarash, who is now shirtless, getting a red card, big loss for Szeged, who were actually trailing quite by I think it was 4 goals quite early in the game against Veszprém, who were looking in good form, but Roland Mickler then coming to the rescue early and often for Szeged as they managed to take control.
Yeah, and it's a big win for Szeged because obviously Veszprem took a close one in the first leg, and home advantage always important in this. What's your thoughts kind of coming out of that? Who's going to take it?
Yeah, I mean, for me, what I was really impressed with on the Szeged side is like how up for the big contest a lot of the players were, and one who really stood out there was Mario Šostarić, who I think had 8 goals in the game, 4 of them from the penalty line, but he was like proper cold-blooded. Fremel on the other wing, and Magnus Abelvik-Rud as well. So 3 players on the court who I think really stood up, and this team came so close to getting to a Final Four, and it was only 5 or 10 minutes of madness in the first leg against Barca, which really cost them that spot. It feels like they have built a very, very solid team, and I think they have the slight mental advantage heading into this last game against Veszprem, strangely enough, because they're away from home. So Veszprem have the expectation, which we've seen them at home fumble against a very good Magdeburg team in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. It feels like there's a lot riding on them taking home the title. That if they were to lose to Szeged, of course it's happened in the past. It can happen. These teams are so evenly matched, but it feels like it's theirs to lose almost in a way, and Szeged can go into this away from home with a bit more ease on their mind, and if they can replicate that, the mixture of cold-blooded attacking play and just like fearsome handball all around, then I think they might just nick it.
Yeah, and if for Szeged, it is it's the first season with Appelgren. It's I think a pre-season to next year where they're going to be expecting to, or everyone's going to expect them to win everything. Like, I think this is the year where they can say they're underdogs, and any win is a bonus. Of course, they want the title, and they've won it multiple years against Veszprem. But I think there's more in the line for Veszprem, as you said. That will flip completely next year. I think next year is the win or go home year for Szeged, which all ramps up very quickly.
Yeah, it's the time where they give Sweden a chance, with Jim Gottfriedson coming in as the playmaker, with Appelgren and Schellmann as the coaches. They go full Scandi, I think. If you think Gottfriedson, Smarrison and Röd in that backcourt, it'll be them giving in for one season properly to that style, and seeing if it works out for them. But that'll be really exciting. It's Sunday at 5:45 Central European time, and as John Ryan on Team Handball News always says, there's ways to watch the game quite easily. I don't even think you need a VPN to watch Hungarian national TV. So that's one to watch if you can. You mentioned the Polish Holy War as well, as they call it. Another final, another one going to penalties, and Kielce losing it on penalties.
It's just heartbreak after heartbreak for Kielce, right? It's brutal, and this game was it finished 22-22. I think there was did a team get into double digits in the first half? Just about, I think.
It was 17 goals in the first half, I think, were scored.
Yeah. It's just the Xavi Sabate style, just dragging Kielce into this fight. Obviously, this is a 2-leg. Well, this is also it's a best of 3, but Plotzk won the first leg in very controversial fashion. I don't know if you saw the end of that. There's some disagreement on it, but To me, it was pretty clear.
Whether the last goal should have counted,
exactly.
right?
It was a 1-goal win. It came down to a shot from the right wing, but what happened was like a ball was played for an in-flight goal from the Plotzk right back, and that player ran in, jumped into the area, landed together with a Kielce defender, and the ball came out to, I think, Dacek on the right wing as it kind of bypassed both of those jumping players. And Dacek got up and scored the winning goal. But to my knowledge, if you attempt an in-flight goal and you don't succeed, that's an automatic turnover. And that probably should have been called. Online, there was some discourse that it may have been the right decision. I just don't see it at all.
It's quite funny because it almost cropped up again at the end of this second leg, as well as Alex Dushabayev was expecting an in-flight pass to come in from Dylan Nahi, and he maybe put like half a foot inside the 6-meter area and looked very sheepishly around as Nahi then put the ball in the back of the net to equalise and send it into a penalty shootout. So maybe in a way it's kind of balanced itself out overall. But yeah, I mean, broadly speaking, it's when there's players inside the area, the referees make a call either that it's the attacker's fault that they're in there and therefore it's a turnover, or if the defender is inside there, like after some kind of contact, it's like an automatic penalty if the player doesn't score. So it always seems to be quite black and white. So not in that case, though, and that's the way we like it in Poland in this holy war. But it was quite a game. There was another red card. Mirsad Terzic getting a very Mirsad Terzic red card for slapping Artsem Karoluk on the head, kind of off the ball. Didn't see like a close-up replay of it, but only from a distance. At that time, Płock were 3 goals down at half-time. But you know, we've been talking, I think, all season about the Kielce problems they've had, and also on the Discord for our Patreon fans talking about this Kielce team. And the goalkeeper department has always been the major issue for them. But they can't even blame the goalkeeper department in this game. In a low-scoring 22-all, Chordalia in goal. The young Bosnian did very, very well, even in the shootout, saving 2 penalties. But it was actually Kielce who were 3 goals up with 4 minutes left to play at home, blowing that completely and having to rescue themselves to get it into penalties. It's a disaster for them, and like a proper showing that Płock are well and truly in their head when it comes to domestic competition.
Yeah, Kielce haven't won a league title since 22-23. That is truly remarkable after going on an eternal run of winning. They won every title between 2008 and 2003. And since then, Wisła Płock have topped them in the league. The Kielce, of course, winning the Polish Cup this year. But Płock, just an impressive team. They're going to get even better next year. And, you know, that rivalry will get even spicier. So congratulations to Xavi Sabate and Wisła Płock. They keep doing it. We've been very high on their defensive setup also. Well, Xavi Sabate's defensive setup, whether it's club or country, and full credit to him to get that win. Yep.
Where do you want to go to next, Alex?
Where shall we go? Let's touch on Denmark a little bit, yes. Because first of all, there was, I suppose, a bit of a shock result in the semi-finals of the Danish playoffs as Skjern beat GOG to go through to the final. And Skjern actually finished 8th in the league, so they're not even eligible for a Champions League qualification spot.
Unless
they win
the
the
final.
final against Aalborg. But
And if you're listening to this on your normal feed and you're not a subscriber with us on Patreon, that's all you're getting for today. But if you want to listen to the rest of this episode, another 25 minutes or so of content and more next week as we build up to the Final Four in Cologne, there's no better time to join us on patreon.com/handball hour. But of course, we will be back for all with free podcasts next week as well, building up to an exciting weekend. Thank you all for listening and enjoy your weekend. Catch you on the other side. Goodbye.